Welcome to the OnlyFans Secrets Marketing Podcast. The goal of this podcast is to help both new and established OnlyFans creators learn the basics of online branding, marketing, and promotion to help you make more money with your content and maximize your time online. My name is Richard Lewis, and I have over 20 years of internet marketing experience. So let's get started with today's topic. That topic is OnlyFans marketing time wasters. So in this episode of the podcast, I'm going to talk about things that waste OnlyFans creators' time when it comes to marketing your OnlyFans page. With time being so valuable, you want to guard yourself from these. Okay, so let's jump right in. Number one, getting into other people's social media debates. I see this a lot where creators jump in to defend another creator or a political opinion. And, it's important to remember that your time online is about marketing. So you want to go ahead and keep your social time to your private accounts. And the time that you have for your OnlyFans accounts should be devoted to talking to possibly new subscribers, getting more followers, finding, accounts that you like and you want to follow and learn from, things that will add to your pot as opposed to take away. So a lot of times when you get into debates, even though you might be right about what you're saying, you're going to turn off some people within that debate, which is actually going to end up making you lose your amount of followers or people who will, want to engage with you in the future. So it's pretty much both a time waster and a possible reputation problem when you get into too many social media debates, especially within the comments of different people's accounts. So it's best to just go ahead and if you want to get into these kind of debates through social media, use your personal account. Log out of your OnlyFans account and go into a personal account and go ahead and have at it that way. Okay, number two, falling for pandering. Okay, so this is where social media posts are made with the intent of soliciting your good graces and comments. So, someone tweets something like, all OnlyFans girls should get $1,000 tipped to them today. Something like that. And you'll see that post and you'll say, oh, this person really cares about me and thinks about me. This is not why they are posting that. They are posting it with the intent of gaining your support, your following. And then you end up following an account that does this all the time, that panders, to the audience in hope of gaining more people to their account. You get this from, differing people trying to sell ebooks, certainly online. You get it from people just who are trying to get you to, wrap you into their particular system or something. Again, this is not going to help you any. Certainly, people like to hear what they want to hear. No one wants to be told that, they're doing something wrong. But you probably are better off following accounts that are telling you you're doing something wrong than ones you're just basically playing to the audience and trying to, manipulate you in a way that's not good. So this is, again, a time waster where you could be potentially learning from a real account or reading something that was actually helpful to you to continue your marketing. And instead you are reading pandering messages that make you feel good, but don't really actually move the needle for you. Okay, next would be fake social media accounts. Okay, so people create accounts where they lie, about their actions to try to get OnlyFans creators to follow them. So they might say, I'm tipping, $1,000 today, or, just to get people to actually follow them. And then they're likely to just end up trying to sell you something or promote their own affiliate marketing links where they're trying to make money. None of this, again, is sending you forward. And obviously people create these fake social media accounts as well with promises, to subscribe to your OnlyFans or that they actually care. They also could be pandering accounts, as mentioned before. But they are not. They are just there with the intent of gaining you as a follower and then manipulating you further from there. So you want to look out for fake social media accounts, and not spend a lot of time engaging with them. Okay, next would be promotional pages with no subscribers. So I say this as no subscribers. What I mean is that they have a lot of other creators that follow them, but they don't have any actual, what I will describe here as men. And we've gone over before, the primary amount of people who subscribe to OnlyFans pages are men. So I'm just going to use that here, because the posts don't get much, likes or engagement. That's how you can tell that it's basically just other creators. Men are on a page, you'll see them interact. They really can't help themselves. So if they like a picture, they're going to like, they're going to comment, they're going to say something, not always the most appropriate, but they're definitely going to be interacting. So if you go onto a page and it's supposedly a promotional page for OnlyFans creators, and all you see is, a few likes here or there, but you don't see any comments. You don't see an overwhelming amount of support and engagement underneath the posts, especially if they are pictures of creators that people should be interacting with and they're not. And this is likely just the promotional page that just has other creators, and you're really not going to get a lot from that. So you want to make sure that you don't waste your time following a lot of those pages on different social media or engaging in that way. Okay, next would be, we went over this before in a previous podcast, joining RT or retweet groups, upvote groups, like for like groups. All of these things sadly sound, really, or aren't effective, but they sound really good. So, they sound good, like, oh, okay, I'm going to go ahead and get in this group and people are going to, promote me, and then, everything will go well because these people are succeeding. And unfortunately, as I mentioned in the previous podcast, it's like being the last one into a pyramid scheme a lot of the times. Basically you're now given all the work, like a science project. You do all the work because you're the new person in the group, and we're going to go over here and we're going to do nothing. And, it doesn't mean that that's always the case, but especially if you have like these different groups where they're established, they're likely just looking for new blood to continue the group, and the people at the top are going to be doing the least amount of work possible. Now, as I mentioned, there are certainly groups that people are, very good about keeping their word and doing what they're supposed to do. And if you can find a group like that, then this does not apply. But for most of the groups, you're going to end up doing a lot of work, a lot of, upvoting, retweeting, all of this kind of stuff. And just think about like what amount of time you could be putting into your own promotion from the time that you're spending upvoting and retweeting and looking to see if someone has done whatever and looking at alerts and all these other things. You could be posting, you could be out there, promoting yourself, and you could be posting on different places that you haven't posted before, finding new avenues, finding new applications, learning new things about marketing and promotion. So I don't feel that these are a good use of your time, and I feel most of them are time wasters. Okay, so next would be taking additional pictures and not posting them. So not every picture is perfect, but it can be used somewhere. So if you're doing a photo shoot and you're taking a lot of pictures And from all those pictures, you're choosing like one or two pictures, and you're saying, okay, these ones are the ones that can go, onto OnlyFans, and this one can be the one that I use for promotion. Again, don't waste anything. That doesn't mean like take an outtake picture that's terrible, that wasn't processed correctly, or you look, terrible. I'm not saying that. I'm saying like if you have pictures that are usable, that you could possibly put somewhere on a specific subreddit, or to promote in some way, look for that. Look for those opportunities, because you will be able to broaden yourself out more if you're utilizing all of what you're creating. So don't just take the, one or two pictures that you really, really loved and then have to go and do another process with your pictures. Try to utilize the pictures that you have. If you don't really love them, maybe make a picture framed with 2 or 3 different pictures in them, and that's for promotion. So they're smaller, so people aren't paying as much attention to them, but now they have 4 pictures they can look at and they're like, wow, okay, this person's creating a lot of content. So, go ahead and utilize everything that you can from a marketing standpoint. Okay, next would be sitting on social media or OnlyFans all day without a plan. Okay, so, thinking people are just going to pop up out of nowhere, without work, you're going to need to sit on one channel and start building it up. But that doesn't mean that you just want to sit there. You definitely want to have a plan in action. How am I going to build up followers here? How many comments am I going to make on a specific day each day if I'm going to be on that social channel and I'm trying to build myself up on it? How many posts am I going to make? If you just sit on social media, you're going to end up, as I mentioned before, getting distracted, getting into other people's social media debates and conversations that are not going to be moving you forward. But if you go ahead and make yourself a plan of action, and say, okay, this is what I'm going to achieve every single day. If, for instance, if you're on Twitter, I'm going to retweet this many tweets. I'm going to post this many times. I'm going to engage with this many people. I'm going to follow 10 new people a day, making sure that you have all of that out there, and you'll see that you'll start to grow. But if you just sit on OnlyFans or sit on social media and say, okay, well, I'm so there, this is great because I'll be the one person who's, live and available for people, they won't even know that you're there unless you have a decent amount of people. You've built up a number of followers. So you want to spend your time engaging, within the community. And yes, if you're live and you're there and someone does DM you or someone is interested in you, you'll be there as well, but you'll be getting work done along the way. Okay, next would be, trying to market, say, to all 5 major social channels at once. Don't do it. So, I'm going to use 5, but obviously you could probably expand it out to 10 if you wanted to, but trying to say, okay, well, I'm going to start my Reddit journey, my Twitter journey, my Instagram journey, my TikTok journey, and I'm going to build them all up at the same exact, time, and, and throw in, some engagement in some Facebook groups while I'm doing it, because, those are all the places where all the people are. So I've got to make sure that I'm in each of those places, that I'm represented. That's just not necessarily how people are successful, online. As I mentioned before, in different podcasts, they are, the way to get success is to become successful at one channel and then move on. So, finding that right channel for you. And yes, you can have some other, feelers out. I definitely started, a page on every single social channel when I started the podcast, and I let it, just sort of sit. Like, for instance, on Instagram, I knew Instagram wasn't going to be the best fit for what I'm trying to do, but I still posted every episode picture of each, podcast episode, so that eventually when the time came that people did find the Instagram, they'd see, oh, he's been posting for the last couple months